Hey folks, welcome back to another Poem Master video. So some folks did ask me to go over this, and I know it's not really on the top of everyone's minds right now, considering the other info that we know. But I guess we'll talk about them, because it is for people who do have the gems. Obviously, if you don't have the gems, and it's not as relevant, I guess. I mean, you can still stay and watch for fun. We're still gonna talk about the units and how well they've aged or whatever, right? But yeah, obviously it's just paid gem summons. So, but you do get a guaranteed, right, unit that you get to choose at the end there. So, anyways, let's talk about them then. So, so we got 3 of these banners. There's like A, B, and C. I guess we'll start from A over here, and let's just double check, just see what all of them are, because it's not just the ones on the top of the banner, right? So if you do a multi, you have the chance of getting them, although it's like very small, 0.09% chance for each. They don't have like featured rates, right? They're just same as any other general pool 5-star. But again, the catch here is at the end you do get to pick one. So in terms of the units in this one, I mean, Jigglypuff Lyra is just no, right? I mean, it was never, like, I guess it was okay when it first dropped, just because everything else in the game was kind of just whatever at that time. Outside of like the top like 2-3 units. But yeah, obviously it's not very not that great right now. Hilbert, Fall Hilbert. Obviously, I mean, if you like these units, characters, Pokemon, you could pull for them, whichever your favorite. But Hilbert himself, he's okay. He's never like terrible, but if you just compare to something like the other, I guess, dark units nowadays, it's not, yeah. Like the man right under him, right? The Zoroark. That's like, if you really want dark type damage, that's a much better option if you want to go. They're on the same banner, right? So, I'm gonna pick someone. For dark type damage, I'd probably rather pick that one. This is Steven Sandslash. I know we are rumored to have Freeze back in fashion. But still, he's not that great. Yes, he does have Infinite Hail on his sync, but outside of that, he doesn't really have too much, right? I mean, I guess he flinches a bit, but it's pretty slow. The buffs are awkward, right? The damage, either sync or regular move damage, is not that good, so not too much there to say. Elisa, this is a new unit from this year, 2023. It's a bit of a mess. It's not that good of a unit. It's like this metronome thing. Metronome Striker, which is just so, like, yeah. Especially now with Mass Mode having the super effective thing, right? The damage reduction. Like, if you're not hitting for super effective against Master Mode, you're just missing out on 3 points. And obviously with Elisa, you never know, right? It's what, 18% chance to get it right. And if you do get it right, it's nice. You got a lot of things. But if you don't, then like, it's a waste of a unit. The fly side of the unit is alright, but again, if you want like a flying type damage dealer, there's just better options, right? There's just better options. Like, again, the man underneath her, which is a Lance Gyarados, which I feel like is slightly underrated, right? I mean, he's pretty simple and straightforward. He's just a big damage dealer. Nothing too crazy, nothing too complicated. He's a big damage dealer. He goes out there, does big damage. That's kind of it, right? And he does do that pretty well. Volkner News Volkner is a really, really good unit, right? Especially with rumored electric type. What's that thing called? What's the high score event, right? Maybe potentially, allegedly coming out. He's definitely going to be very, 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 very good there. If any of them are also weak to electric. If they're not, then he doesn't do too much there either. But overall, just against like electric weak stages is obviously very, very, very good. It's just that the fact that there's stronger electric type damage dealers out there now, right? Ash, Albert Red, Nimona, you can maybe even argue, right? So, Spring May, she did get better, right? Now that you could run her in like the hop fighting zone, which is neat and all. And she's a striker, but she's not like a striker. Like, no one really runs her as a damage dealer. People mostly just run her like as like this weird pseudo tank, flinch, right, potion, sort of speed buffer, which is alright, but you know, ultimately not fantastic either. Lycia, if I were to recommend like one unit, I'd say Lycia would be at the top of that list here. Yeah, she's just good, man. Like, if you know, compare her to a lot of the other units on this banner, she's the best fairy type damage dealer in the game. Like, yeah, by far. She's just incredible, right? Really, really, really good DPS. Pretty good striker AoE nuke as well. Also, a very simple and straightforward unit to use. Again, comes in there, does big damage, and then leaves, right? So, yeah, she's really nice. Glory Inteleon. I like this unit. I like it a lot more than most people do, probably. It just feels, it's a fun unit to use. It's a fun little, you know, unit to use, right? You hit a turn, and then, like, you try to move a turn, like, is it good, though? I don't think so. I don't think it's, like, anything great, right? It's a fun little unit. If you like having fun, sure, but otherwise, it's not, like, look, man, it's water type. I know it also has, like, Dark Pulse, but, you know, Dark Pulse damage is that good. It's water type. There's, like, a billion better ones, right? Holiday Leon. Holiday Leon is pretty good still, but, I mean, in terms of, like, Ice type damage dealers, right, the recent Singsuit Silver, I'd say it's probably better. Irida, right? Even on her own, probably better. And you know who, maybe, allegedly coming out, also probably better. So, but yeah, I mean, he's still not bad though. He's still not bad. So yeah, so you got a few options over here. I feel like this banner is mostly just of the damage healers. Did they actually sort it by that? Because that's, yeah, because it's all like strikers, right? Literally all of them are strikers. Yeah. Oh, did they just separate the banners by like role? Oh, okay. I guess this one's the tech banner then. So yeah, that's that. Let's see. So the tech one, the seasonal sync pairs. Mimikyu Acerola, great outfit, all that stuff. Looks very looks adorable. Not very good. Not very good. Was not good when she first dropped and was never really that great. Scarlet Togekiss I find slightly underrated, right? Like, the Scarlet Togekiss does, it's kind of interesting, right? It's kind of interesting. It's got a pretty, you know, pretty nice nuke. You could get the DPS decent. It just takes a lot of time and luck. So, you know, in longer battles, maybe you'll get there, but in shorter battles, definitely not, right? And then you have all the flinching, you know, the random stats. Random stats I don't care as much, but, you know, you got the flinching. And, you know, you got the team lucky entry. It's again, it's another one of those, like, fun-ish units. I won't categorize as, like, great or whatever. But it's fun. The Sawsbuck. The Sawsbuck is, it's an awkward unit to use. It's an awkward unit to use. Like, in the right scenarios. Wait, was it main? Oh, no, it's over here there. Never mind. Yeah, it's a bit of an awkward unit to use. It does have some great things, right? You know, Headbutt Aggravation, obviously, all three terrains. But it's just too, like, it's an economic unit just because you have, like, all three different terrains compressed into, like, one unit. But that also makes it so that the kit is very, very much spread out in, like, all different directions, right? So, yeah. Like, if you look at the grid, like, a third of it is, like, well, maybe not a third, but, like, big chunk of it is for grass terrain, big chunk of it for electric terrain, big chunk is for, like, psych terrain, which obviously, if you're just going for one, you straight up won't be using any of the other stuff, right? So that's a bit awkward. Also, because you do have to use move gauge boost, right, just to get the right terrains, like, outside of, like, grass terrain, like, the other ones just are slightly, again, slightly awkward. In terms of the amount of turns you have to use to get it in, and also it's like a bit of a waste of move gauge boost, which sucks, especially you know, when you're using it like on turn 1, right? So yeah, it's pretty decent as grassy terrain, but just look at the other two grassy terrain units, like, yeah. So I'm not super high on it. It's not bad though, right? If you really just need all three of those terrains, you don't have any of them, like, sure. But again, I would caution that there's of all three terrains, right? Grassy, psychic, and electric. There's a lot better terrain setters than the Sawsbuck. Iris, Fall Iris. This is like still the only poison zone unit. It's yeah, like just like again, it's based on it being special and debuffing the opponent's special defense, so you get its multipliers. So you know, ideally you'd want special units to help alongside her, but like all the main poison type damage dealers are all physical, right? Emma's physical. If you want to count Oleana's physical. These new ones, I mean, doesn't really do real damage, but is also physical. This one is this is the tech, or no, this is Striker. Yeah, so this is Striker Wheezing. I mean, this one's alright, but again, it's still not anything great. All right, at least Koga has an EX now, so there's that. They could maybe work together because he does have Mind Games. So, but yeah, she's not great, right? And even if we did have great poison type damage dealers, like her on her own isn't even all that good, right? So like, even if you really want a poison zone unit, probably like wait for the next poison zone unit maybe, or just get Emma whenever she comes back, which I do believe she's rumored to come back on like Select Scout sometime soon, right? So all right, Seabold is fun. Again, if you hear the term fun, probably means it's not crazy good. Not really. I mean, there's incredibly powerful fun units, right? But yeah, I mean, it's okay, right? Solid nuke. You could do some DPS, not like it doesn't do any. You could take a few hits as well, right? It's a bit of everything, right? But again, like, yeah, right? All creamy. Unfortunately, not that great nowadays anymore. It's just a very, very awkward place. Like, it's a half support, half like debuffer, and it can't really tank that well. So it's just yeah, it's not very well constructed for the modern day compared to modern day units. The other Dawn, however, this Dawn I would very, very much recommend at first, right? Because we didn't have the exact details on her multipliers. It looked like she was straight up just like a joke of a unit. But Revelation Dance, it basically hits like twice, right? It's like double the damage. You get all those debuffs. It's a crazy good unit. Big damage, crazy good debuffs, right? The self double buff thing is fun as well, right? It's a really good unit. I'd highly recommend this one, honestly. Serena Whimsicott, I mean, it's still alright. It's just like, it can get you some really high ceiling. It just takes a lot of setup, unfortunately. But it still gives you good stuff, right? Team speed buffs, AoE, paralysis, right? Speed debuffs, AoE speed debuffs, all that stuff. It can nuke a bit, it can DPS a bit. It's alright. It's pretty good. Still, for a unit that old, right? What else? Morty Bonnet. This one's not that great. Not too much to talk about. Right. This Marnie's still alright. I don't think it's as good as it was before, but it's I've always been a fan of this Marnie, right? Just because you could have it's both a tank and a damage dealer, right? It could definitely take hits pretty well, right? And it could dish out some really good damage, and it got all those debuffs. The big issue is the speed, right? Which is, why at least I feel like kind of fell off a bit, right? So the speed thing just kind of sucked. The other Marnie, this one, similar issue with the other one, but it's just kind of like a overarching issue. With this type, I guess. It's bad speed. Everything else is good though, right? Got the flinches on the Iron Head. The sync is very powerful. Got the attack and physical defense debuffs, right? It's just overall, it's a very It's a unit that fits well with the all the other stuff that she's trying to boost, right? Well, at least most of them. Not this not this new one. But most of the other ones, big physical steel type damage dealers. She fits very, very, very well with them, but again, speed issue, right? Not saying that she's bad. I mean, I'd still put her up there, right? Maybe as like a top 3, top 5 choice on this banner. Last one, Ice Q. I mean, she was fun for a bit when she dropped, right? The physical tank where you just get spam like MPRs on hope you get MPRs on hail. So you just take like 0 damage throughout like an entire battle. Very, very, very funny. You got the flinch there as well with Icicle Crash. I do feel like speed is another issue on this unit. It does have some like speed stuff, but it does take a while for you to get them out there, right? For example, the pep rally on the hail, or speed skating, but it just it takes a bit of time. But it doesn't really do anything else all that well, right? Like the damage sync, not that great. And again, the tank thing is very, very, very gimmicky. So yeah, there's that as well. Last one, I'm assuming this one's the supports, right? So yeah, let's check this one out. This one's Hilda Grapplock. Honestly, Hilda Grapplock, when she first dropped, it was like everyone was memeing on her. But I feel like, she's aged decently. Like, she never like fell off, right? And I don't know, I low-key kind of like her now. It's a fun unit. It's fun. Again, it's not anything crazy. I wouldn't really recommend going for her, right? Of all the seasonal supports, but it's a fun little unit. Right? The topsy-turvy stuff. You could slowly get some debuffs in here, right? Whatever it's called, the disarmoring retaliation. There's that other one, bamboozling one, right? Slowly get some buffs here and there. It's a fun little unit. It's a fun little unit. Okay. Erica, I mean, damn. There's nothing much to say about this unit. It was really, really crazy when it first dropped, and like a few months later, like, yeah. we know the Erica story by now. Not that great. Although I do feel like people like kind of overstate how bad she is, because I personally do find Healing Hand a very, 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 very clutch ability. But overall, no, she's definitely not something you would really want to go for. What's next? Caitlyn Sableye. I mean, she's all right. You got attack and speed up on the same move. That's pretty cool. Get both defenses, right? You get damage reduction shields, or crit shields, right? All that stuff. She's all right. She's pretty all right. Again, nothing too crazy, but not something that you'd just gloss over either. Rosa Delibird. Maybe, our ice team's back on the rise soon. Perhaps. I don't think it's like that big of a deal, right? Because like Rosa Delibird does have some pretty fundamental issues. Like super fun unit, right? With the random buffs that you get from all the presents. It's really like it really is like it's Santa Claus just giving out random buffs and all that stuff. But that's also kind of like the issue. They are random, and Delibird is very susceptible to getting taken out early, because its defenses when they're not buffed, right, along with the relatively low-ish HP, could get you in some trouble. So yeah, but if you get everything right, then it's amazing. Jasmine, I like this unit a lot. I think this is a fantastic sport. Very underrated. People don't talk about this one enough. Also, Jasmine and Ampharos, man, it's great. But yeah, you get the super effective up next. You get potions. You get the physical special move up next stuff, right? With your trainer move. So whichever you need on your team, you can do that. You also have Team Grand Entry and Fierce Entry, which could give you up to 2, right, after you mega her. So that's really, really nice. Got the adrenaline here as well. potion stuff with Master Healer. All that's really cool. I think it's a good unit. And, you know, the more you use those training moves, the more it buffs its own defenses as well. And it does have some pretty high base defensive stats and HP stats. So, yeah, and speed's not that terrible either when you consider, you know, it only has like a 1 gauge spam bull over here that could also, you know, paralyze. Like, she just does a lot of stuff. I'd recommend her a decent amount. Sabrina, obviously, you know, the #1 unit to pick over here, the best unit ever has been... No, I mean, she's all right. She's all right. She is pretty RNG, right? It, like, if you get those special move up next, then like this is like special Tapu Bulu almost. Not really, but like Walmart special Tapu Bulu. But yeah, it's RNG based. It's like 30%. 30% is not that good of a rate, right? But otherwise, she does have a lot of merits. I think Clear Mind is really, really good, right? You get Endurance. You could use it multiple times, right? You know, get the heals there as well. Condition Shield, very, very, very helpful, especially against a lot of different legendary gauntlet stuff. What else? The self heals, all that, and again, just the speed buffs that you also get. A lot of her buffs are relatively slow though, so that's something to consider, I guess. Yeah, you got the confusion as well. I mean, I think she's all right. Wouldn't really. Well, I personally I would take her over everyone here, but you know, as average player, probably not over something like Holly Jasmine, right? Probably. So, wow. Well, that was all the other units before. Okay, I guess Holly Jasmine would be the only one, but I'd take her after Holly Jasmine. Okay. No, I would take her before Holy Jasmine. All right. Lily B is not that good nowadays. It's just very, very expensive for your support to be spamming like 3 gauge moves, right? And, you know, it's not even that much of like a gauge unit outside of that, right, as well. Like, okay, it has like move gauge boost, which is a bit of a meme. Team sync regen, all that stuff. I mean, it's slow, and the leech life thing, like, you would die surprisingly fast with Lily B. In like most mass mode scenarios. In some gauntlets, she could be pretty nice there though, sustain wise. But what else? Appleton's pretty good. I feel like I think like she's low-key kind of underrated as well. Yeah, it's a pretty solid sort of support that came out this year, right? You have the max crit buffs, you have the special defense debuffs, right? So you're not just a cone after you use your training moves, all that stuff. It's one of those like special supports that is physically defensive, right? Which is fun. Those are cool. Yeah, the move gauge fresh 9 on Apple Acid. You got Trip up there as well. It's a pretty nice support. Togepi and Berg, I was never like a huge fan of this unit. It's not bad though. It's definitely nice. It's just like the buffs are so slow. It's like, you know, and you know, we criticize Singsu Blue for his slow debuffs, and he's like half of that, right? But he is pretty good, sustain wise, right? I mean, he's just a very, very reliable, albeit inconsistent, but he should be most of the time pretty reliably solid. Let's just get like the worst luck possible, right? But yeah, Fisher is yeah, that's B. Again, our ice team's back in force. I don't know, but she is like a. It looks like she's a mixed support, but she's a physical support, right? With the physical move up next. So that's that, I guess. Not too much to talk about. I mean, she's really yeah. I mean, but like even if you take away like the the hail stuff, she's just a pretty good solid support in her in her own right. 1 gauge Astonish aggravation spam, right? You have Snow Sentinel, and where's the other one? Healing Hail 2, right? So like as long as you keep that hail up, right? She's a very, 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 very powerful tank in Legendary Gauntlet. Alistair, I would say is probably one of the better options over here, right? I know I always do that like comparison between like Alistair and Renegade Cynthia, and I'm not even joking, man. If this wasn't Renegade Cynthia and Giratina, which, let's be real, the looks and all that stuff give like plus like 5,000 points to it, just because it's so cool. But if we like take that aside, we just look at the kits and overall, like if you're gonna pick one of them, I'd go with Alistair. I'm not gonna lie, I'd go with Alistair. I feel like it's just more, it's more universally usable, right? Because like, you know, Renegade Cynthia, outside of like Ghost Zone, you wouldn't really use her, and like outside of Ghost teams, you could still use Alistair. There's still a lot of teams where you can still use Alistair even if you're not running Ghost units. Again, the Ghost rebuff, 2 of these is equivalent to a Ghost, you know, or it's almost equivalent. Was it 0.4 or 0.5? Anyways, but yeah, equivalent, basically equivalent to a Ghost Zone damage boost. Anyways, it's just that in Legendary Gauntlets they don't carry between bars, which kind of suck. But flip side, you know, it lasts forever, right? But yeah, I just feel like you just get more value out of this unit. I'm not just saying, oh, you know, support. You always take a support over like a Ghost Zone setter. No. If the Zone setter is like, you know, it's like Singsu Diantha or something else, right? It's just that like Renegade Cynthia itself is just, outside of setting Ghost Zone, all the other stuff is kind of mediocre, right? But yeah, he's just a really, really nice unit. I'd recommend this Fall Alistair. But yeah, I mean, personally, if I were gonna pick one out of these, disregarding, you know, Near Sabrina, probably Polly Jasmine, I feel, right? I feel like, you know, she's really, really nice. And then maybe Alistair. And then after that, you could, probably between Near Sabrina, Mallow, or Palatine's B, maybe Berg, right? And the other ones, maybe Caitlyn, you could argue. But I do like this Mallow. I think it's nice, right? So, anyways, well, that's these seasonal units, right? I guess I'll do my polls here. I guess you know, I'm just always preparing just in case, right? Just in case if in some scary future where we get like 5 out of 5 grids for like these seasonal units, right? And at least for me, like 3k gem for like a guaranteed is pretty worth it. So okay, let's see. Again, there's still a chance to get someone in here. Who do I don't have max out for strikers? I believe Leon, Lycia, Elisa, and Gloria. Nice. Actually, no. I think I have Volkner. Okay. Oh, yeah. Those are 3 out of 5. Yeah, I'll pick a 3 out of 5. Pick a 3 out of 5 out of these. I mean, out of these, clearly would be Lycia, because it's I'd argue the best out of all of them, and it's Lycia. I like Lycia. She's cool. She's Wallace's niece. I don't like Wallace. He's my favorite champion. So all right, there we go. Lycia it is for the striker one. What else we got? Let's see. The support. Let's do it in alphabetical order. All right, the tech one. We got some more gems after this, so but there are a lot of gem sales, so should be good on that. Okay, tech one. Who do I have at 3 out of 5 for tech? Let me see. Whitney, Nessa, and Dawn. Ooh, that's a tough one to pick. That's a tough one to pick for me. Oh, didn't seem like we get anyone here. Cause like, if we're just going for purely like, what is more beneficial at the moment? Cause you know, at the moment doesn't really do much but increase your like BP a bit. The answer would probably be Nessa here, but I also don't really care for that Nessa as much. I don't know, just find the other two. Well, I like Dawn, right? And I like All Creamy. I don't really like Sawsbuck, but, you know, Whitney of the 3, I'd say is probably the best one. Tough decision. I'll go Dawn. I'll go Dawn, even though it's probably of the three the least useful at the moment being, but I have some hopes for if they ever do an expansion, which, again, I hope that doesn't happen, but if they could maybe do something cool with it, right? Maybe add some to the you know, add some AoE debuffs, or just debuffs to her Dazzling Gleam, whatever. That could be cool. All right, last one. The supports. All right, let me get some gems real quick. All right. Yeah, support over here. So for supports, the ones I have 3 out of 5 is what? Mallow, Ampharos, Alistair, B, and Rosa. I'm probably gonna go Ampharos, although if you want to argue, oh, which one would be the most worth it at the moment, it's support, so like their damage isn't like, but like Mallow does have like Dragon Pulse. Right, I mean Alistair with the Ghost Zone, or not Ghost Zone, Ghost Rebuff, yeah, it do some damage, but probably Ampharos though. Ampharos. Damn, we didn't get a single extra one. But again, like the rates are insanely low, right? Outside of the guaranteed select one. So, all right, well let's get the Jasmine, and we are out of here. All right, I like that Christmas story. Do you guys remember that Christmas? I thought it was really nice. That was a great holiday story over there. Anyways, while I'm here, let me just get my other daily discounts in. I believe, yeah, the one I have 3 out of 5 of the Johto Master Trio is Chris, which is the least useful one out of 3, considering the other 2 actually like do damage, right? Didn't seem like we get it here either. I don't remember who I'm missing 5 out of 5 over here. I think it's Red and Ingo, I believe. Oh yeah, Ingo got his grid expansion recently, right? But it's like, it's really bad, so I'm still doing Dales on Drasma. She'll be added to the general pool soon, right? She'll be in there before the Master Fairs, and let's be real, we'll probably max her out this anniversary, right? So, okay. All right, last one, and that's oh no, that's just the regular dailies. All right, well, have fun, folks. Glove cards are pulling, but again, I'm not gonna say I highly recommend it at the moment, but you know, there are some good units, and at least they're guaranteed. So if you do have the extra money to spend, I guess. Look, I'm not here to tell anyone how to spend their money, but you know, you go for them. There's definitely a lot of really good units here. So all right, see you guys.